Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bunk and Pick podcast. Pick here with...
Hello, Governor!
Just found your drink, though. The one you lost earlier. I think we found it.
That's my extra, in case I need it.
Yeah.
I'm having a stockpile them up here in the old broadcast room.
Hey, you have the mini fridge, but you like them room temperature anyway, so...
It hasn't quite made it to the mini
a trait that has passed down to your children, because I will drink it.
See? There's nothing wrong with it.
No, there is something wrong with it. It's just, I know why you did it. Is you had 5 kids, and if you put it in that fridge... I was hiding it. Yeah, if you put it in the fridge, it'd be gone. But I never saw you pour it over like ice or anything.
No, I used to drink, and I still can just drink them like that.
They were literally hot, though. They weren't room temperature.
No, they were room
We lived
temperature.
in Florida. It was,
Come on.
It was 90-degree soda.
They were room. And they were the discontinued and by far the best Diet Pepsi vanilla.
Oh, they don't make that anymore?
No, they stopped
Coke makes vanilla still. Why won't you switch to
Coke.
that?
I'm not a Coke guy.
Why? Okay.
Coke is harsh. Got a harsh taste to it.
What?
Pepsi's nice and smooth.
That's the whole... The Coke is supposed to be the smooth one, and Pepsi has bite.
No, I don't. I disagree. I disagree.
Your taste buds are fucked or something.
Well, I'm just telling you, I disagree with you.
Why? Okay, here's a real question, though, because the listeners have to know. Why does it have to be the tall, skinny bottle?
I hate small bottles.
I'm not talking about the small bottles, but like just a regular bottle.
I don't like the small stuff.
The regular
nice, full
bottle is.
I want a nice, full, manly amount of Pepsi. I don't want to be. I don't want little kid. I don't want a little kid can.
It's literally the same amount that's in it. It has to be this bottle.
It has to be that. You can grab it and put your hand around it nicely. Take it for a walk.
God, I don't know if we're talking about your drink anymore.
I don't know. I'm very if they don't have them, I ain't buying them.
That blows my mind.
I don't buy alternatives. Every once in a while, I go with the really, really big bottle. I hate it, but I will. I will never go smaller, though.
Now, I will say this. You were a SodaStream guy, but I see you're migrating back a little bit.
No, I'm still a SodaStream guy, but I drink so much, I drain those 3 friggin' bottles.
How fast do you go through the air? How fast do you go through? Because I don't think I've ever seen you drink anything other than Pepsi.
I don't.
So how fast do you go through the CO2?
Got to go over to Target and refill them, baby.
You trade them in, though, right?
I trade them in.
All right.
But I have 2 of them. I have a backup. Always have a backup.
Is that like once a week?
No, not once a week. It's hard to tell when those damn things are out.
It's not that hard. You press in, you drink the water, and if it doesn't feel carbonated, it's out.
Well, not once a week. Don't mess with me. Come on.
I'm
supplementing with bottles
one CO2 bottle a week.
No, I don't do CO2. But no.
Okay.
Because I'm supplementing with actual store-bought Pepsi diet. Well, Pepsi, Coke Zero. Pepsi Zero, not Coke.
Holy shit. Do you smell burnt toast?
Cookie.
You're defending your Pepsi honor so fucking hard right now.
I love my Pepsi. And you guys used to steal that shit, and then you used to steal my little chocolate.
Yeah, the little Debbie's. The Swiss cake rolls, my friend.
Swiss cake rolls. And those were treasures for me.
It wasn't like you were trying that hard for...
I know. Where are you going to hide them? They start melting if you put them anywhere out, like too crazy.
Underneath your farts in the bed probably wasn't the best choice, though.
It was for me.
Literally on your side of the bed.
I got to tell you, those were like after a hard day. Woo! Some people come home and drink alcohol, and I didn't. I had a Swiss cake roll. Peppy and a Swiss cake roll.
Man, now that I'm older and I've had jobs and I understand the brutal coming home after a long day. How pissed were you when you reached in that box and we ate them all?
Pretty pissed. I wasn't going back to the store.
Who heard the rant, though? Mom got the rant.
Nah, a little bit, maybe.
Did you internalize it?
I internalized most of it.
Took it out
Cursed
of
you guys, little son
batting practice. When
little son bitches.
Started throwing inside in batting practice.
I was trying to figure out who it was. Which one of you got them?
The thing was, all of us did it.
I know, but you guys knew I loved them. That was like one thing. You can have anything else in the house, but don't mess with those.
Don't hide them, and we probably would have left them alone if they weren't hidden.
Good. Dude, you guys used to wait for Mom and I to walk in the store with bags of groceries, and we couldn't even put them down before the hands were digging.
Mom and you?
Yes, me and Mom.
Yes, you and Mom?
Yeah, me and Mom.
You guys can die on that one.
Yeah,
that hill.
We both came in.
Because I'm 100% sure Mom and Mom. Well, not you, my friends.
Regardless, groceries came in. They didn't make it to the counter. You guys were ridiculous, man.
Well, Mom used to buy the unpacking groceries just that we would eat. Yeah. So while we were unpacking the groceries. Beautiful.
Yeah. That's just like the school candy you guys used to get when we used to have to sell the candy. And I'd come home let me talk about that for a minute. You guys would get those fucking boxes of candy.
We'd eat the whole thing.
And I'd count them all up. And then you guys would sell some, and I'd take some to work and sell them. And then the next morning, I'd count them, and I was like, son of a bitch, we're missing like 10. And every time you did it, I had to pay for it.
That's $10 extra dollars.
Out of my friggin' money. And we weren't exactly dying with, we weren't living a high life.
I know. That's why I learned my lesson. And when my kids get it, I take the whole damn box from them. Don't let them have it.
I will say that one actually pissed me off.
Oh, I know. Okay. Top 10 angriest moments I've seen you. That's one of them.
That is one, because let's just be clear. It wasn't like one person with one box. It was 4 of you boys with four fucking boxes. And you guys were eating all of them. And I was owing like $100 and some every time. I was pissed.
It was good candy.
Yeah.
All right, there's that. I remember one time the car got towed on me, and
yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, that might have been one of the angriest I've ever seen on you.
The car towing, because just the whole process of getting it.
I had finals.
And it's always in the middle of the night too. You got to do
finals.
Shit. Yeah, and it's always shady places where they tow them. By the way,
it always is.
God,
it's always. My favorite tow story was. You remember I got towed on Christmas Day at the apartment complex I was living because I parked on the line.
I do remember
Christmas
that.
Day.
I do remember that.
Oh man,
complex is brutal.
I was a hot potato that day.
They are brutal.
Holy shit! I wanted to kill somebody.
And where do they tow it? They don't tow it anywhere in your vicinity.
It's like 500 miles from
South Austin, the worst part of town, and you can't even. You have to go to this metal gate, and it's gross, man. The whole thing, and then it's like hundreds of dollars to get it out.
Yep.
Yeah, not
every
happy.
Time.
No, wasn't happy about it.
Nope. So that was an angry one. I mean, we did a lot of hijinks as kids. You caught us doing a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, you guys were caught a lot.
A lot.
Your mother doesn't know about a lot of it. Let's just be clear. A lot of it was...
I'm well aware.
A lot of it, I chose not to share.
You created a healthy amount of fear just by look.
Yeah.
At times. Now looking back, I was like, man, I am like 2 feet taller than this guy. What is he going to do to me?
Yeah.
But then, hey, you were good at it.
Yeah, not enough fear that you guys didn't do shit, so...
Well,
but the thing was,
same thing's going to happen with our kids. My kids are going to do the same shit.
You guys thought you were smart. You didn't do any shit that I hadn't already done.
Oh, I know.
And you guys thought you were all secretive.
It's funny to see now because my kids they're hitting teenager, and I'm seeing them.
It's the same stuff.
Try to be shady too.
Stupid shit.
And I just laugh.
I know.
Honestly, I close the door and I laugh.
It's like, I know. It's stupid.
It is stupid.
But it's not like we didn't already do all that stuff. I mean, I already knew about it. Some of it you just like, okay, oh, really? Wow. Whatever. I mean, because they already know what they're doing, but yeah, that was good stuff. Good times, man.
That was good times. Well, speaking of good times.
Yes, sir.
We're at kind of a little bit of a dead period here in sports, my friend.
We are. There has been some stuff going on.
There has been some cool stuff going on. Have you watched any of the Four Nations yet?
And sadly, say on a sports podcast, I probably should admit it. I haven't seen it. I was watching.
So that's a no.
I was watching the governor shows. Hello, governor.
Oh, no.
And I forgot it was on. And then you guys were texting back and forth. I was like, oh, shit. I forgot it was on tonight. But the governor still got to get his man. I haven't seen it.
Governor, God. Well, the Four Nations pretty awesome. U.S. is going to play Canada for
Canada ended up beating, Sweden?
Today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. They ended up beating Sweden. That one. I'm going to watch that one because you guys were talking about the 3 fights.
There was 3 fights in 9 seconds. They literally just dropped the puck and then threw the gloves off and started punching each other. And then they cleared that up. It was the two Tkachuk brothers, and that got cleared up. And then they dropped the puck again in 2 seconds.
That's unbelievable.
And then the last one was a scuffle in front of the goal. They just went at it again. It was pretty fun to watch.
So this should be a good game then.
Yeah, I mean, that's on the international stage. It used to be, back when like the Miracle on Ice and everything. That was like the U.S. against. But Canada's always been good at hockey.
Yeah, that's their sport,
right? Yeah. So, the U.S. took that first game from Canada 3-1, but Don't expect that to happen again.
No, it's hard. Well, it's hard to beat a team.
Those teams
twice
are going to
anyway.
be.
Well, so when do they play again?
Shit out. It's in a couple days. So it's Monday now. They're going to give them at least 1 day's rest.
I like it.
But they have to get back to the NHL season, so it can't be that much longer. It's got to be in the next 2 or 3 days.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to be on it. I'm gonna put my governors aside
tonight. Okay, so tonight the U.S. plays Sweden, but the U.S. already has 2 wins.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter. Canada beat Finland 5-3. So you're gonna have that match on Thursday at 7:00 Central, U.S. Canada.
All right, I'll be there. Be there, be square. And they're playing in Canada, right?
They are playing in Canada. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm on it. I'm going to put the Govies aside for the night. My Govy shows. And I'll be watching it.
Is fun because it is like a true rivalry. They do not like each other.
It's really cool. I'm excited.
It is pretty fun to watch. So that'll be fun to see. And then we're coming down to the home stretch there of hockey. There's some decent storylines going on, but I think it's kind of status quo as it's been this year for the most part.
Yeah.
Other things, but that'll be fun, definitely, when we get there. There is some baseball news and stuff, but I'd like to bring up one thing. I got to go to a University of Texas men's basketball game.
Did you?
The other night.
I didn't know that.
I sent you a video.
Oh, yeah, you did. I didn't know you were there, though.
I took that video.
I guess I didn't put two together. Now that I think about it, that's the only way you could have got the video.
You're correct.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oi!
Yikes, my friend.
Hey, that makes a lot of sense right now.
Is that 1 day a week of working for you right now is really rattling the brain.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome, though.
And they beat Kentucky.
They did beat Kentucky. That has been one of the most up and down teams I've ever seen in my life, the Texas men's basketball team. The women's team is amazing. They beat LSU this past weekend.
They did, and they're in the top three. They are right now.
I think 2 or 3. Notre Dame took over number 1.
Notre Dame did take over number 1. But yeah, the women's team is doing really well.
Yep.
That's I didn't put 2 and 2 together on your video, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. So we were fortunate enough to get tickets through somebody else. So I didn't pay anything. Go there. Parking pass was
part of it
attached to it. So I parked in the same garage Amanda does for school.
Yeah, for school down there.
Yeah. Right next to the stadium. Walked over. They special took us to the entrance.
Wow.
4 rows up. Box seat.
I like it. You know, I've not gone to a men's basketball game in years.
The Moody Center is amazing. They did a really good job.
Good.
But it was fun to watch. And it got rowdy. It was a good game to be at. Texas ended up winning.
They did end up winning.
That kept them on the bubble.
Well, Kentucky's ranked pretty, like in the middle of the pack, so that's a big win.
Yeah,
15th. In the Southeast Conference, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Okay.
Well, talking college basketball, though, and strictly with UT basketball, I'd like to ask this question. I know I've asked it maybe in the past, but does the coach get fired if they don't make the tournament? It's year 2.
Yeah.
The first year he took a pretty... They had a run in the playoff, but that's also was Chris Beard's players.
Yeah, it was his other guy.
Rodney Terry's 2 years in. He's got his guys. So every other program at Texas, his trajectory is up besides that one.
Yeah.
It feels like. Do they make a move?
We talked last time. I think they do if he does not make the tournament. And, they're iffy.
What if he makes the tournament as just a one and done? They get blown out.
I still think that he's on the bubble, I think.
Yeah.
On whether he makes it, because they have talent and they recruit. They should recruit really well.
Rodney Terry's an amazing
So something
recruiter.
else is going on.
It's the X's and O's.
Yeah. They're not consistent. They're a very inconsistent team.
It's crazy how inconsistent they are.
Yeah. I mean, they beat Kentucky and then they'll lose to somebody, stupid. So,
yeah.
I think, it helped their chances, obviously, beating Kentucky, but the season still has a ways to go.
It does. It gives them a quad 1 win, but they still need to win they 5 games left. I feel like they have to win out.
Yeah.
And if they don't, I think if Rodney Terry gets them to the playoff or to the brackets, right? To the playoffs, he's got 1 more year. If he misses the tournament,
Yeah.
I think Texas, there's so much money at Texas. Why would you not throw money at somebody?
Well, and yeah, you're right. And basketball is it's a big sport. So
and you can change a team in 1 year.
So what was it? So since you were there, what was the crowd? Was it crowded?
It felt how loud it was. It felt 50-50. But Kentucky travels well, so it's hard to judge.
But was it sold out? Like
full? It was full.
Sold out. Okay.
The games before were not. I think it was sold out because the Kentucky fans traveled. Okay. They were loud. They were very loud.
Yeah.
But the Texas fans were quite loud as well. So there was this feeling of when the game started, everybody was there to be there, but not there expecting anything. And then as the game went on, Texas hung around the whole game.
Yeah.
And then by the end, everybody's super into it. But at the beginning, it definitely didn't feel like, the atmosphere was definitely hey, we're just going to do something cool.
Yeah, interesting. Well, good on you. I now that I look back, I saw the video and go, hey, that's cool.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Yep.
Missed that one. Sorry, brother.
Yowzers.
The women are number 2.
Number 2.
They moved up to number 2. Notre Dame's number 1 on the women's side. And the women always have a strong team, though. They historically have a good basketball team.
Not every year, though. They had a few lean years before Vic Schaefer.
But, I mean, if you go back in time,
they
were always a top. It was them. Tennessee was always a top team in women's basketball.
Yeah, Lady Vols, they're still pretty big. UConn.
UConn, which, by the way, UConn absolutely crapped all over South Carolina. Did you see that?
Yeah. What was that, 71 games without losing at home? That was their first home loss.
And it wasn't even close.
They shit on them.
They beat them by 20, 30 points. It was a huge win, which I was surprised at.
What's her face? Was Paige Beckers playing? She had to have.
I don't know. I just saw the score and I kind of saw a quick rundown of how what the streak was in the SEC, but or at home. I'm sorry, but it wasn't close. It was not even a close game. Texas beat them and it was a close game, but this was not even in. It was nowhere near being close. So that's interesting.
It is. South Carolina has been dominant for quite a while now. Them and UConn have really run.
I like the tournament. I'm a late comer. I come in when the tournament starts. I like watching the tournament and hoping for the upsets.
I'll give you this. Being there in person, though, you just don't understand how big those guys really are.
Oh, they're huge.
Holy shit.
Well, so let me put it this. So now, since you said that, I'm just going to transition just for a second. I watched the last part of the NBA All-Star game.
Man, I could not do it.
I only watched 5, but I watched right before they did they had that weird format this year. And I watched right before they did the last game with Shaq's team against
First
Chuck's
to 40
team.
or whatever.
And Kevin Hart was, Kevin Hart was standing next to Shaq.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Holy shit.
Shaq's
he didn't
7'1".
come up to his waist. Literally did not come up to the man's waist.
How tall do you think Kevin Hart is?
Kevin Hart is short, but
he's got to be 5'2".
I know,
5'3".
but I'm just saying it. Good God, I was in awe, staring at it.
You know what?
I couldn't believe it.
You know, it'd be awesome. Those two just remake twins.
Oh, absolutely.
Danny DeVito and Schwarzenegger.
It was the video. I was in awe. I was like, oh my God. I know Kevin Hart's short because he was a lot shorter than the other announcer on team, Ernie.
Yeah.
But honestly, that guy's not that much shorter than Barkley.
No.
He's a pretty tall guy too.
Yeah, everybody on that panel's pretty tall.
But Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's tiny.
It was amazing to see. And I know Shaq is 7 foot and big guy, but holy crap, that was wild. But I did watch about 5 minutes. The All-Star game in the NBA is just
they need to.
They're trying, but it's not
I know
there.
They're trying so many different things for it, but all the players are just put it at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I get where they're coming from. Baseball's a little different. Baseball can have it in the middle of the year and it doesn't really disrupt much.
Well, and you can't in baseball. You can't not play because it's just a different game. If you're, you know what I mean? You can still have fun, but you're pitching, you're fielding, running, hitting. It's a different thing. Basketball, those guys, they start slacking off and not running, and they're obviously not playing that hard. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a weird format. I don't know if it worked. I heard that they may be looking at the 4 nations thing, or 2 nations, or like USA versus the world kind of thing maybe in the future, which I don't know. I just don't think basketball's made for an all-star game. I don't know.
No, it's like football.
Do the
skills challenges or something like that. And they did a little bit of skills challenge stuff, which still wasn't that. And then the dunk contest got to the point where it's not like the big names in it anymore, so it's not fun to watch. Honestly, it's not fun to watch.
I used to watch that all the time.
Yeah, it was awesome when the big names were doing it.
But I mean, I didn't watch much of it, sadly.
No.
So I did check in, and I saw that was the highlight of it, is watching Kevin Hart stand next to Shaq.
He is a full 2 feet shorter than Shaq.
No, he's freaking tiny.
He's 5'2".
But so I'm like 5'7" or 5'8". Can you imagine? I'd be like right there.
You would look like a monster next to him.
Oh my! I know, but next to Shaq, I'd be holy crap. Shaq is huge.
Shaq's a big dude.
He's a huge human, man.
Some of those guys, like Wemby, is taller than Shaq.
I know.
That's crazy.
And when they're playing, you don't, because they're all so big, you don't realize
every single one of them. Even like the point guards are 6'5".
But then you get like a normal person, and they're like, "Holy shit, these guys are big."
Yeah,
it's fun. It's fun to watch. I mean, that part of it's fun to watch. I'll pull into the NBA on playoff time. When they get to the playoffs, I'll do the college when they get to the. I love the college. When they get to the tournament.
Yeah,
I mean, that I'm all over.
The bracket's so much fun to fill out and kind of follow for sure.
All right. What other sports?
Oh, I will say this, so just as like a UT roundup, because we talked a little bit. Texas baseball absolutely slaughtered everybody, but the only team that beat them was Louisville. They won. They run ruled Ole Miss. They run ruled them to the game ended early.
Wow.
That's
good.
That was 15-0. And then they beat the shit out of Oklahoma State.
And they have a new coach too, right?
Texas
Baseball,
does.
Texas,
Jim Schlossnagle took them from A&M.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heated fans.
That's right. We
a lot of heated
fans.
The Schloss.
The Schlosser. The Schlonger.
Not the
SchlongDongle.
No, God.
SchlongDongler.
No, Jesus.
SchlongDongler.
Please stop it. Please stop it.
Jimmy SchlongDongler. Okay.
Oh, boy. Schlongwanger. Okay.
But I didn't like that other coach. He looked like a mean bastard.
He was a mean bastard, and he was the one that wanted Tulowitzki off the staff.
Yeah.
And Troy Tulowitzki has done so much for the university. And of course, Schloss is like, no, keep him.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But they hit the shit out of the ball. They
nice.
They were playing at the Rangers Stadium this past weekend. They crushed it. Now, Texas sports on Saturday and Sunday went 8-0.
Oh, okay.
Across the board.
Nice. Very nice.
So
we like our horns.
That is pretty awesome.
That is.
Just overall, college baseball is going to be fun this year. Too bad they don't. Like, you have to pay extra to watch the games. They're not televised anywhere, which sucks ass.
Yeah, but you know what? We're close. We should maybe try to make
get out to Dish Vault.
Make a doubleheader or something.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
And they do play some day games during the week.
Yeah, plus weekends.
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun just to go. I like going out to the ball games and watching them.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Speaking of baseball, though, I want to transition into the MLB a little bit. Because there was some movement. We finally saw the big name finally dropped.
They're dropping.
Bregman is a Boston Red Sox.
Which is still don't understand why he wanted to go there. He kept saying he wanted to go there, and I still.
Well, Arenado was saying that too, though.
Why?
I don't know, but the Cardinals are. They're fucked.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna pick up. Arenado's owed $75 million over the next 3 years.
Well, and that's
and nobody else is gonna pay him, and he has no trade clause on that.
Yeah,
he chooses where he wants to go. No matter where he goes, he's gonna choose again.
And the Bregman thing was interesting because with Devers at third. And he came out today and said, I'm a third baseman. I'm fucking moving.
They ain't moving. He pretty much insinuated, keep me a third or trade me.
Yeah. And I'm sure he, I would hope that they have some discussion with him before they sign Bregman. Just tell him, hey, look, dude, we're not. But, when he comes out and makes a statement like that, you can almost have to think they didn't maybe have that conversation with him up front. or else he wouldn't be making a statement because he'd already know what's going on. So Bregman's going to second.
Yep.
I mean,
and that's going to move Bregman second, which moves Rafaela to the outfield.
Yeah.
Which I think they're losing on the defensive side doing that. I think Trevor Story needs to move away from shortstop. I think you can put Rafaela at shortstop and put Story as your DH.
Yeah, I don't see Story as a DH though.
But he can't. He makes so many errors in the field.
Yeah. Well, I hate Boston. So
I know. I want to see how they play this out though, because it was the same concept with Arenado. Arenado definitely won't move from third. You're going to try and convince your all-star to move away from his position?
Well, and the funny thing is, honestly, about at this point, the only team that's looking for a third baseman is the Yankees, and he doesn't want to play for the Yankees.
Nope. He said, Arenado said he has 5 teams.
Yeah.
He never said the teams. He said, I gave them 5 destinations. I will go.
And I know the Yankees weren't on there. And at this point, I mean, I think the Yankees, I've read that they're still interested, but I don't think he wants to go there, so I don't think that's going to happen. The only reason he may is because Goldsmith's there. And they played together for a long time.
He doesn't want to live in New York. He doesn't want to shave. Yeah. He doesn't want to do all the extra stuff that it is to be a Yankee.
He doesn't want to be a winner. What can I say?
Well, hey, I'll say this. You can just not swing a bat for 3 to 4 weeks if you're a Yankee, apparently, because Stanton hasn't touched a bat in a month.
Oh, God. We'll get to that, but holy fuck, he's out again. Already hurt.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I know.
Not supposed to report till tomorrow.
He's already hurt. He's out. Like, I know. God, it's so disappointing.
That is. Why is he still getting paid?
Well, he has a contract. And
I know
just
that.
the way it is, but I know that's a bummer, man. Like, come on. What's he hurt his I think he hurt his elbow or something. Like, come on, dude. So he's out he's probably not going to be ready for the start of the season. Unbelievable.
Is it really unbelievable? Does that really surprise you?
They haven't even reported yet. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, I like him, and I think he's a good guy, and I'm sure he's as frustrated as anybody.
Person-wise, he's fine.
But he cannot stay healthy. And at what point does he just retire anyway? I mean, it's got to be close. You have to think it's got to be close.
It has to be.
And they actually don't have a DH, like outside of him.
I mean, they'd be fine. But they have enough players on that team.
They don't have a DH kind of guy, though. They have like guys that are on the bench.
But okay. So what is a DH kind of guy to you? When you think a DH, what is?
I mean, honestly, I think of somebody like a Stanton or Alonso or those kind of guys. The big bats, not dink hitters. You're looking at guys, honestly, with a lot of power that can come in and change a game, or strike out and change a game. But they don't have. They do not have that on the bench.
But we've seen in the past, at least the past 2 years, a kind of a migration away from that style of hitter in the DH role. You're seeing these other teams use that for a guy that they know can hit. Yeah. Just maybe not for power, but it's going to hit. Just can't. It's going to make a ton of errors.
I just don't see it on the Yankees. I don't know who that would be.
I don't know either. I mean, you could move Belly out of center field, put him at DH, and move somebody else in there if you wanted a good defender, but that would be it.
I think that, the Yankees are my team. They have 9 good guys. I don't know that they have 10 or 11 fielding guys. They have pitching. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing. So, maybe Arenado's back in the fold, or there's other guys that haven't signed yet too. I mean, they could still make it.
Arenado's not going there.
No, clearly not. He said
you could go there. But you could go trade and get a decent third baseman right now.
They could still trade
because their farm system isn't the war. It's actually better. I was kind of doing a little bit of deep dive, and the Yankees' farm system is better than where I thought they would be.
They do have a good farm system.
They do. They just never pull guys up.
But like their big guy, right? The big guy who's supposed to be the next Aaron Judge strikes out at a phenomenal rate. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, and that ain't gonna cut it, man. I mean, he can hit a home run or strike out. Ben Rice, who was there last year, I don't know what he did in the offseason. That dude's jacked up. He was lifted weights or something. He's not like a little skinny kid anymore. He's pretty jacked. But I'm assuming he may be the backup catcher. because his natural position is actually catcher, not first base.
So, but why can't you DH him?
He might.
He was very good at bat the ball.
He could be. See, that kind of guy I could see maybe being a DH, but I guess we're gonna see. But I am very disappointed that Stanton is literally out again. God, I don't even understand it, man. I mean, he's got soreness in both elbows since the 24 postseason. So, okay, that was a while back.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
man.
that was a while
back. And
his
pain is very high. I mean, let me move off Stanton for a minute. And here's one I love. Did you see this one for the Mets? Frankie Montas?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's lat.
I mean, come on.
6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, so he's, and then that's before he even starts doing stuff, probably. I mean, good God, man.
Yeah, the Mets have some injury-prone dudes in that lineup.
They do. And that was like a guy they had already
had penciled in.
They signed him, and he didn't do well when he was with the Yankees, and now he's, they signed him. And then they're still counting on friggin'
Clay Holmes.
And I want to see that experiment and see how that works.
Hey, let's go sink $700 million into a right fielder.
Yeah.
And then pray to God my pitching staff that's put together with Band-Aids and bubble gum holds up for 60,
I know. It's going to be a...
That was a dumb move.
Yeah, it was a good splash, and it made the news, but now reality hits, and you got to actually play the game. So.
It doesn't matter how many home runs he hits. The other team is going to score more runs.
Yeah, he's a third. You know what? He'll hit 30 home runs, but his fielding's not the best, and that's not going to overcome anything. So I don't know. And I do like the Mets. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not a Mets guy, but
you could argue that he has less protection in that lineup now than he had at the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or than he had Bryce Harper behind him when he was with not Washington. Then he went out to San Diego, and he had Tatis and Machado around him.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Yankees and had Judge and Stanton and a bunch of big bats, and now he's got.
Yeah,
I think it's a downgrade having what he has around him now. He's probably going to hit 2 in that lineup.
I think they've already said he'll hit 2.
So
and they have Alonso's 4. So
I am walking Soto and pitching to Alonso every time.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. That's going to be an interesting thing that they do. The other thing I saw is Mike Trout's going to play right field this year.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I think that's a good move.
I think it's a good move, and I hope I love the guy. I hope he stays healthy. He doesn't need to be in center. I guess I don't. We played a lot of baseball. I don't know. Is there that big of a difference between center and right field?
I do.
Is it the running?
It's the running.
So, I mean...
And what is he... He's been having lower back and leg problems. So you're cutting out a lot of the running.
I like it. I mean, I like that move. I hope he plays the full season. I really want to see him play a full season and have a great year.
I honestly think they need to find a way to phase him into DH.
Oh, man, I don't think he wants...
He doesn't want to. I know he doesn't want to.
Still, though.
Yeah, I know, but you're trying to protect your best hitter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's there yet. Obviously,
I don't think age-wise he's there, but I think if you're protecting your asset as a he's been hurt the past 4 years.
Yeah.
From running injuries.
I think this is the first step to see what if we move him in right. Can he make it? But I mean, he can't keep missing seasons. Let's be honest. It's to the point where he's got to play.
His legacy is getting hurt at this point because for those first 5 years of his career, that is the best baseball player we've ever seen.
Right, and he started out last year on fire, but that was it. He played short period of time and then was gone.
And he was multiple injuries last year.
But I hope the best for him. I hope he plays all season. I hope he has a great year. I'd like to see the Angels do well, but I don't think they will.
Well, they got some competition in that league.
Yeah.
I mean, Astros will be the Astros. We'll see. Their pitching staff is not as good as
No, but they're competitive. They're always going to be right there.
And Altuve gets to sit at second base now.
Yeah, although he's working out in the outfield, he's still doing.
Well, they did that because they wanted to bring Bregman back.
Well, they did, but they said even after Bregman signed, he's still been doing some working out. I don't know
why would you put
He's got little short legs.
He's got no arm.
I know. I don't know why.
Why would you put? It's worse than Brett Gardner.
I don't know.
Brett Gardner had no arm. You can agree with me that he had zero arm in left field.
He did. He did, but he was fast.
He was fast.
And he could cover a lot of ground.
Altuve is fast and will cover ground and stuff, but he's got no arm. He's got a worse arm than Gardner.
He does. He doesn't have a good arm. I don't know. I don't know why he wants to do it.
I would sit at second base until they kick me off.
He's a great second baseman.
He is. I don't know why he's moving.
He's not going to move. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, okay, so you got them. The Rangers are going to bounce back this year. They have to bounce back, right?
DeGrom had a good session.
He did. He's going to be back. They have a really good young core. They have a good team.
I think they'll do good this year.
I think they're going to be very good.
I think last year they had too many injuries.
Yep.
They couldn't overcome them.
Yep. Seattle will be good this year.
Yep.
And you know who the surprise team is spending fucking money?
Who?
The Sacramento Athletics.
They are spending money.
They're spending money.
And I think they just extended their coach, too.
They just extended Kotze through 28.
So
what the hell are they? So you got rid of a stadium. You're talking about cutting costs to move. But then they invested in their line.
They are spending money.
I'm trying to figure out what their end goal here is.
It's not Moneyball right now.
No, they're spending money.
They're actually spending money, which is kind of, good for them. Every year can't be like even though they've always been, even with like,
they're competitive.
No-name guys, they're competitive, but they have signed guys this year, and it looks like they're making an investment. So, but they're obviously gearing up to go to Las Vegas, and that's
like years away.
A couple years maybe?
At least 2. The city of Las Vegas doesn't even want them there.
No, I know. But they can't just take that same team though that they had. They have to bring some names, and they got to do something if you're moving to a new city. But I'm happy to see them, put some money into. The one team I haven't even heard a peep about, and you hear about almost every team, is the White Sox. And I don't know if they've done anything.
They're going to be worse. Their team looks worse this year.
I don't know what they've done. I haven't seen them do anything. They've sold off some guys and got rid of guys. But
who do you think their best player is? If you had to guess, without looking.
It's their outfielder. What's that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
What's his name?
It's Luis Robert.
Robert, yeah.
That's it. They have Vaughn hitting behind him. That team is a mess.
That is, and they were actually looking to trade him too. No, I don't know.
He said he wanted to stay there. Why would you want to stay there?
I wouldn't. They're bad, and I believe they will be the worst team.
I mean, you look at their lineup, and it's like there's nobody.
No, there's nothing, and they got rid of anybody that was anybody, and they were bad already. So
they picked up Alex Cobb at 38 to come be a pitcher. They got Jack Flaherty, who could work out. They've got Sawyer Gibson Long. Jackson Jobe, rookie, and Kenta Maeda.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Ty Madden there that they're going to put in. Then Dylan Cease. No, he's gone. Dylan Cease is gone.
He's gone.
So, they
don't have anything.
They have nothing. And then you look at their catcher, Jake Rogers. They do have the one and only Javi Baez now. So,
do they?
Yeah.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah. So, I'm looking at Detroit.
That's not Javi Baez.
Oh, crap. I'm looking at Detroit. I was wondering why. Alex Cobb, hang on.
Yeah, Javi Baez is
the wrong
there.
Team. Hang on.
The one and only Javi Baez is still in Detroit.
Yeah, he's sitting that bench. All right, so looking at starting pitchers now. Oh, Cannon. Yeah, Jonathan Cannon. That's right. Wickelman Gonzalez.
Oh, Wickelman.
That's a starting pitcher there. David Martin, Nick Nastrini.
God.
And then Martin Perez is there at 33-year-olds. They have nothing.
No, they have nothing. And if that was Detroit's pitchers, they're not exactly.
No, Detroit's. But they have. They have
a lot of good players.
Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
That I'm struggling to see them winning 30 games this year.
Oh, they're gonna not do well. But they're not. You know what the thing is too? I can actually sit and watch just about every baseball game. I can't watch them play.
I'll watch them play when they play my team.
But it's They're bad. Boring.
They're very bad.
Boring, like dreary, boring kind of game when they play, and I honestly can't watch them.
I wish that they were better, but then again, they were good during the Ozzie Guillen times, and I hated them then too.
Yeah, I'm not a white. They're just not. You know what? If you're for Chicago, I'm a Cubs guy. I'm not a White Sox, and I know in the city they're one or the other. It's kind of like New York. You're a Mets or Yankees guy. Well, let's talk about your team playing in my New York Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
Yankees put money into it, fixed it up, but it still doesn't hold a lot of people.
I mean, it's gonna
holds enough people.
It holds enough people for the Rays.
I know. I was
probably still gonna be missed seats.
Boom.
There's probably still gonna be seats empty.
God, it's not a lot of seats there, man. Come on.
It's decent. It's like 20,000.
It's not. Come on. They're not going to fill 20,000 seats.
Probably not.
Maybe they will because it's a different location.
It's actually in Tampa.
I mean,
that helps because they're not having to travel.
Yeah.
That drive, I know they call it Tampa St. Pete, but it's like an hour drive.
Yeah.
And on a weeknight, like a Tuesday night, nobody's doing that shit.
Well, maybe it'll work out for them. Maybe they'll make it their new home.
They won't make it their new home. They have enough money to
I know.
To build a stadium, and they got a grant for it. The problem is the owner's like dragging his feet on it. So there's a petition to try and get him to sell the team at this point so that they can actually build the stadium. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. But I will say that they did upgrade. They're a better team this year than last year.
They are. They're
much better.
They're going to be competitive again this year.
Their outfield is scary. It's not good.
But they're always competitive. They're never like not competitive team.
The problem is you're banking on a lot of youth out there. The infield's going to be solid. You got a good Danny Jansen's going to be behind the plate now, which is awesome. That's a huge upgrade. Somebody who actually hits over 200 as a catcher. I can't tell you the last time. Maybe, God, when was the last time Tampa had a catcher that hit over 2? I can't remember.
Who was their catcher last year?
Ben Rortvedt and Rene Pinto.
He's their backup, right?
Yeah.
This year. Yeah. He's not, I don't know. I was surprised because
he started off real hot last year.
I know, which was surprised me because he was with the Yankees. They called him up, then they sent him down, then they traded him. He was supposed to be like, they got him in a trade from somebody else, but he was supposed to be like the guy, and he was never turned into the guy there. But I don't think he got much of a shot either, to be honest with you.
But I will say this, as far as, with the Yankees.
Nah, he didn't. They already had 2 catchers.
Right.
He didn't really have much.
Well, yeah, Danny Jansen's going to be the clear starter at that point. So that feels good. The infield feels very good. You're going to have to use a lot of infielders in the outfield this year. Josh Lowe is probably the only one that's guaranteed a spot out there right now. You got a lot of younger guys coming in. And then one thing is that I'm really looking forward to, those their rotation. Getting some of their bigger names back. Drew Rasmussen will be back this year. McClanahan will be back this year. And you've got Shane Baz back this year. Taj Bradley had a good year last year. So they're going to be really good up front, and their closer's good with Fairbanks. So I feel great about pitching.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're going to do fine. I mean,
it's just going to be run production from the outfield. That's going to be the crutch all year.
But they'll be in the middle. If they're not in the middle of the pack, they might be in the top. They're not going to be a bottom team.
Okay, so looking at what we know about that roster, matched up to every other AL East team, the Yankees obviously have a better roster.
I think the Yankees do.
Does Boston?
I don't think so.
I don't think Boston has a better rotation, but I think they have a better.
They have a.
I'm with you. I think Tampa would win those games. If you play 10 games, Tampa would win.
I think Tampa's still and I don't think
the Orioles are probably 2.
And Toronto, I don't think it's going to.
Toronto's going to be bad.
I think they're done. Yeah,
I think they're going to tear down soon.
Well, so they report to spring training tomorrow, and I think Vlad, if he doesn't sign an extension before then, he's not going to sign. He said, "No, I'm not talking to him again," and they haven't signed him again yet.
Well,
which is kind of weird.
If they don't give Vlad, then they tear down. They're going to trade Bichette, and they're going to tear down everything. They should.
I think they should too. And I'm not a Bichette. I think Bichette had a good season one year, but I don't see him as he didn't have a great season last year.
I feel like Bichette's if in the long term is the better player than Vlad, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's got to do it this year though, because he came out hot and then fell off last year. So we'll see.
Their whole team was like that last year.
I mean, there's some guys that are getting ready for like this will be a big year for them, right? That they can, they're going into eligible for free agency. The one guy that's kind of surprising me is it Luis Arias?
Yeah,
that dude. Everywhere he goes, he hits.
His 300. He is the modern day Tony Gwynn.
It's so funny because I don't think he gets enough. I don't know.
I mean, he was the big trade. He was a big name that got traded last year. It was just super early. Remember how early he got traded to the Padres? So it got overshadowed a bit, but he got moved. He was really good for the Marlins.
But he just hits.
He hits.
I would love to have a guy like that in the Yankees.
That's always on
base.
Just always on base.
Constantly on base in front of people.
Derek Jeter.
I mean,
that's what Jeter was. Jeter was always on base.
Yeah, and I think he was floated around this year to be traded. Which I don't understand. Why the hell would you want to trade him? The guy does nothing but get on that. Base.
But San Diego also doubled down and kind of improved a little bit to try and keep up. If you were an NL West team, it would make sense to kind of tear down now. For me personally, because you're going up against a juggernaut.
Well, and they're going to be hard pressed to pass up the Dodgers.
And the Giants are going to be right there too.
Giants will be good. But I mean, San Diego's got a lot of talent.
San Diego's a lot of talent.
So he's up for free agency after this season. He makes $14 million right now. But that dude, he's 28 years old and he hits like he's crazy.
Honestly, it feels like watching Tony Gwynn. He doesn't strike out ever.
But to me, he doesn't get enough credit.
No.
I mean, he's always like, he has hit streaks and he's got high average.
He's not hitting home runs.
No, but God, I'd love to have that dude on my team.
Hell yeah. Somebody to set the tone every game.
Yeah. The other guy that's coming up, tell me what you think about him. O'Neal Cruz.
I love O'Neal Cruz. He won't be a Pirate for very long.
No, but he came out of the gate friggin' on fire.
Him and Ellie De La Cruz came out.
But then O'Neal Cruz you don't really hear much anymore about him.
But he had Brian Reynolds hitting behind him. He has nothing.
No, but the guy is like really good. But he's another guy. You hear Ellie's name all the time, and you don't hear his too much.
I think he's going to be. I think we're going to hear a lot about him at the trade deadline this year. Yeah, I do think he's going to be a rental. He's going to get moved to somebody.
He might. But he can play. He can play center and short. So, and he's a big dude. He's got a freaking
fast. He is cannon. He hits the ball.
Yeah. I think he's
just on the wrong team.
I think he'll have a good year.
I feel like I just don't see. Although the NL Central's kind of weak. I just don't see the Pirates making a run to keep him around. Like, it would make more sense to move him to get something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's not... If I was him, I would want out. I wouldn't... If I stayed on the Pirates the whole year this year, I'm not re-signing.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I agree. He could make a lot of money and be in a better position somewhere else. No.
Yeah, and with a little less pressure on him.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see. The other big guy going into free agency after 2 years is Kyle Schwarber. And he's interesting. He hits a lot of home runs, and he gets a lot of, he's like 100 RBI guy, but he strikes out a crap load.
He's like approaching 200 strikeouts a year.
He strikes out a lot, but you got to give him credit. He is almost every year like 100 RBIs too.
He is. He's always around there. 90 to 110.
See, I don't think the Phillies, I don't see them re-sign. He's in the end of his 4-year, $79 million contract, and he's going to be 32. I don't know. He does hit. I don't know. He's kind of different.
So here's the question: do you think the Phillies window's still open right now?
I think this is it.
This got to be
it. This, I think, as I was saying, so his contract's coming up. I'm sure some others in the field. They got to do it now. I mean, they've been close, but they can't get over the hump, and they have the players, but they're not getting any younger. And I think this is the last year they got, personally.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Harper's older. Pitching staff's getting older.
Their catcher, Real Mutos. He's getting up there.
He's still probably the best catcher.
He's a great catcher. But I mean, those guys are all getting up there in age.
Yeah, Brandon Marsh might be the youngest dude, and he's still 26.
So I'd be curious to see what they do with him or how that works out.
I really do feel like it's do or die this year. You're either going to sink a shit ton of money into that team at the trade deadline, or you're going to offload and just try to rebuild. We'll see. They stay in contention just because of the talent they have. Yeah. Here's one that surprised me. He may not surprise you because he seems like just a young guy who just started coming out. Is Adley Rutschman. Yeah. And he's 27. But he'll be eligible for free agency after the 2027 season. But he seems to me like he's still that young guy that just came in. He's in such a good position with Baltimore though that I think he's stay. Good. I like him. He's a good catcher. I think he gets a little bit overshadowed. I mean, there's a lot of good talent on that team. There is. Man, if that comes together, that's like nobody's beating that. Well, so Jackson Holliday, this is his year, right? They're talking about him hitting 8th in the lineup though. But he's going to play. He'll be the second baseman. He'll go into the season as second baseman. Which is good. Yeah. That's good for him. You've got, you have a shortstop with Gunnar. Yep. Who is really top 5 shortstops in the game right now. You'll have Jackson Holliday. You have the catcher. Yep. Their outfield is good. And their pitching is very good. They have a great team. They got to put it together. They have to. It's not do or die, but they need to. Is it Brandon Hyde out there as the manager? I think he is. He's got this year. With what he's got around him, you have to make a deep run. Yeah, I agree. You can't get wild carded out again. They're almost like the Blue Jays were a few years ago. Right, yes. These guys are going to dominate. So much better. They are. They do have more talent and if the Yankees don't win it, I'd like to see them, but I don't know. They fell apart last year. They did. Which was a little interesting considering the talent they have. That's where the question of is it Brandon Hyde on the hot seat for it? Well, somebody's going to be on the hot seat, and it's not going to be the players. So no. I was looking at some things, and I've got a really interesting question proposed that I saw, and I'd like to, if you were a GM right now, would you want William Contreras, I'm sorry, or Adley Rutschman on your team? Which one of those two? Oh, I would want Adley Rutschman. I would take Contreras. By pure numbers. Pure numbers, but I don't know. There's just something about Rutschman that I think he's just changed his games, and I don't know. I would take Rutschman. Yeah. And I know the numbers probably they don't favor that. More on the defensive side, because offensively they're very similar. And more on the defensive side, Contreras is a better defensive catcher. I like Adley Rutschman. I know. I think he's a good player. Personally, would rather have him on the team if it was me. Yeah. But the numbers, I think. Well, I mean, Contreras is an all-star every year, so not William. Or not Wilson. I'm talking about William. Brewers. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He was an all-star last year, and he's a better catcher than his brother. Oh, God, yes. Yeah. So at this, yes. Yeah. Put it that way. It's a cool, I guess, thing to think about, because Rutschman has always got the publicity, and Contreras, numbers-wise, is just a little bit better. And I think Rutschman gets it because he's on a team with a young core, and everybody likes to talk about the young Orioles, but you're playing also. I mean, you benefit. There is a huge benefit in playing the AL East, as you get exposure. Tampa even gets exposure, and they are constantly small ball. Well, you do get. I mean, because you're playing Boston and New York, Boston. I mean, those are huge markets. Those are big markets and big games, and they're always televised. Mm-hmm. So cool. All right, that's. I don't think I have anything else on bad. I was kind of going through and seeing what else was going on, but we're getting ready for the actual
players to report.
Yep.
Still can't believe Stanton's already hurt.
Honestly, I haven't heard a lot of injury news for pitchers and catchers at the moment.
No, except for Montas get hurt. But Stan's not a pitcher.
Bad elbows. He's not even reported yet. He's got bad elbows.
Since the World Series, he's had bad elbows. What? I don't even understand that, man.
Bad elbows don't make you not run fast at like 100%.
He literally swings a bat. I don't know.
I mean, if I was him, I would hang. I would say
that's
I'm
what
hurting
I mean.
people.
He's almost, at some point.
He needs to be the one to say I'm hurting this team.
At some point, I think it's got to say this is my last year. I mean, he's up there in age. He's had a great career.
He's had an amazing. He's going to probably be in the Hall.
He's got to. I mean, damn man, this got to be it for him. And he can't play. I mean, he'll get his elbows fixed. He'll come in, something else will get, and then he's out again. He's frustrated as anybody else, but it's your body telling you, dude, it's time.
Remember, he came into spring training last year. He lost a bunch of weight, and then he just gained it back during the year. And by the end of the year, he was hurt again.
I mean, his body is broken down.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. But at that point, it's time. I mean, I know he's collecting a huge paycheck. I'm sure.
Right. You need to personally say something.
Yeah. And I don't think with that paycheck, I can't remember what his contract is, but it's a big one.
I'm not saying I would say something. You should.
Yeah, I'm not saying
should and would are two different things.
I mean,
but the Yankees need to say something to him, and maybe that's happened. Boone's not going to say anything.
Well, last year they kind of criticized him. He's like hurt all the time and made comments about it, and then he comes in the playoffs and he did great, but
he can't run 100%.
He can't run. No. I feel bad for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, not because he makes a bazillion.
Like 200 million reasons I don't feel bad for him at all.
But I like him. I like the guy. So what can I say? All right.
That's where I'm at. Baseball's going to be fun.
I'm waiting for it.
If there's one thing we can guarantee, it's that the White Sox will be probably the worst. The White Sox and honestly, I looked at Colorado's roster too. Those are the two worst teams in baseball.
And
there's nothing on either.
It's going to be horrible. St. Louis is going to be horrible.
God, I feel bad.
I mean, they're going
to feel bad for Arenado,
but they're doing it on purpose. They're
tearing down. They said they're going to tear down, but still, they're not going to move him. He's going to be there.
We'll see.
He's going to be there.
You know what? These teams go into spring training. Some of these guys start getting hurt, and then Arenado's name starts popping up again. Or
it's got to be one of the five.
He decides, okay, screw it. I'll go to wherever. We'll see. I'm not convinced he's going to start the season there at St. Louis.
I think he'll start the season with St. Louis. I
don't think so. I disagree with you on that pick.
We'll see.
All right,
big dog. Little NFL news. We're kind of tracking some of the draft stocks, things like that. You had Georgia and Texas are sending 13 players apiece to the combine.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I like that.
13 is a lot of players.
I like it.
That's a lot of players. There is some speed coming out this year that is going to change some teams as well. But the big story is it's franchise tag time.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to get that franchise tag?
That is interesting. Well, I will say this. Did you see there was a story that, now I don't know if it was true, where Pittsburgh was maybe interested in
Aaron Rodgers?
No. Quarterback of Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence? They'd have to give up a lot.
There was
Jacksonville just spent so much money on him.
Oh, they just signed him to a huge contract.
$55 million a year.
And I don't know how true that is. There was a story floating around I thought was interesting.
I've heard a connection of Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh.
That would be a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Huge. He's not an upgrade to either of those guys.
No, and Mike Tomlin's a hard ass.
But he's just not an upgrade to those guys, to either of those two quarterbacks. And they're only going to sign one of them, evidently. So it's going to be interesting. So franchise tag,
there's a possibility that the Minnesota Vikings franchise tag Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. I don't know if the I don't know what that would mean.
That would mean McCarthy needs to rehab for a while longer on his knee. That would mean they need somebody in front of him for a while. Because obviously McCarthy is the quarterback of the future, right?
He is, but it's not. It wouldn't. I mean, he was hurt last year. It wouldn't kill him to sit another, to play behind Darnold again, or at least into the season.
Now, the only reason I would see that being beneficial for the Vikings, it's going to be very expensive for them, right? That's a huge cap hit. Plus, you're paying that Darnold a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
it's like 40-something million a year. It ensures that you have somebody on your team, just in case JJ McCarthy's not ready. But It's not long term. It's 1 year, so it's a rental.
It is 1 year.
But I thought that was very that in particular made me think a little bit about how they would, because obviously O'Connell liked him. He loved Darnold, but Darnold shit the bed down the stretch at the end.
He did. But he had a great season.
He had a great season up until the last 3 weeks.
I mean, they could do that, and that would give McCarthy 1 more year to kind of, get ready.
Right, but you would want McCarthy by the end of next year to be taking over.
You would, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. That's a big. I mean, they might try and sign him. Hell, who knows?
Well, they have been trying to sign him, but I think it's lower than what he wants. Because open market. The way he played this year, he's going to get a huge paycheck. And there's a lot of teams with money that are willing. Like the Raiders are willing to pay people.
I mean, you got teams that aren't going to. Well, we're not enamored with any of the quarterbacks coming out anyway. But I mean, you got teams that aren't even going to get one of those two. And then, the Jets aren't going to get him. The Giants aren't going to get him. I mean, I can see. Darnold won't go to the Jets. Obviously, he's already been there.
But why would you not go? If somebody's going to offer you $40+ million a year,
it's a different coach, different organization. But I don't see him going back. But the Giants, I don't know what they're going to do.
God, the Giants are a mess.
And they are a mess. I mean, look at the friggin' 49ers. They still haven't extended friggin' Purdy.
Which blows my mind.
Which I don't understand.
You don't have to pay Purdy a ton.
I don't. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer. Just lock him up because he plays great in that.
Like give him 20 to 25 a year.
Organization. Well, I'm sure he wants more than that.
But okay, but if you look at it as a whole, this year he didn't have all the weapons he normally has, and he looked very, very mediocre.
He did.
So there's an argument against him wanting 40 to 50 million a year.
And I know, but that's the going price.
Not for somebody like him, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of success there. Even though you can.
He has. No, he has been very, very successful. I'm not saying. And I like Brock Purdy. I think he fits Shanahan's system perfectly. Does. I think they would be dumb to not sign him.
Oh, I agree. They will. I think they'll sign him. I don't know. There's a lot of quarterback openings right now.
Surprising amount of quarterback.
A lot of teams need a quarterback. And they're not going to get it in the draft. Not guys that can come straight in and play. So they're going to have to find somebody somewhere. This would be a great year to be a veteran.
Shit, I know. That's why Rodgers is not freaking out. I bet somebody's going to pick him up.
Pay him? I don't know who. You got to get all his baggage.
The Raiders.
I could see it.
It's got to be somebody. Because he wants to go on McAfee's show. He wants to say all his conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
That's what he really wants. Football is just football.
He doesn't need anything.
He needs a platform.
Yeah.
He wants, and this is his platform.
Right.
Place like Las Vegas gives people
he
that.
He could go there for a year. He doesn't have any more than a year left.
What about like Tennessee?
Oh man, I don't see him in Tennessee. I don't think that's his style.
No.
Vegas, I could see him.
So his style with quarterback openings. Because I could see Pete Carroll taking him in Las Vegas for a year.
I think I'm just saying, like, can you see him playing in Tennessee just at this stage in his career? I mean, New York, you could see because with all the.
No, but did you see Brett Favre playing in Minnesota?
Nah, but Favre was. I don't know what the hell's wrong.
You know what I mean.
I get it. We'll see.
Like, it's who's going to pay for him. Because who realistically could use a rental quarterback?
Well, a lot of teams can.
Okay. So you list them off. He could
go to Vegas.
Vegas, Cleveland. I mean,
God, they crush him in Cleveland.
Maybe Indianapolis. Because they need to give that quarterback in Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson, more time.
Yeah.
He just hasn't played enough football. Okay, so that'd be good. Because not Seattle.
No, because they already have a starter.
The Rams, if they get rid of Stafford.
I don't see that happening.
Cowboys make a weird play.
I think Vegas is valid.
Vegas feels like the best spot.
I think Vegas is valid.
But if you're Las Vegas, if you're Max Crosby at Las Vegas and they bring in that guy, how pissed are you?
I think Russell Wilson's a valid choice for Vegas.
I think he'd be way better
again.
That'd be way better than Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think Rodgers is at the point he needs to hang him up. He's not going to.
Think he should.
So what team's willing to put up with all the bullshit?
It's a team that needs a name, like the Jets. We're going to get the name and build up the hype, and then
Here's the real question: which fucking owner's crazy enough to do it?
Well, look, we've seen it before, though. These guys sign some shit people, man. I guess
Mark Davis is the one I would be like.
Tennessee could just because they need
Levis ain't it.
I don't see him playing in Tennessee.
Levis ain't it,
and I agree. And
they have a chance to get a quarterback at the top of the draft.
I don't see any other. I mean, there's other teams, but he's not like. That's to be a special team to want to sign that dude,
right,
man.
And you have to give him his platform. He wants his platform.
He wants platform.
You want him to not be a locker room problem. You have to give him that platform.
You do. I mean,
that's why Vegas feels like the only option.
I think that's it. For as far as I know, that's it. I can't. I'm looking at teams.
I guess I could see Cleveland just because it's Cleveland.
Cleveland needs a quarterback. They're not going to get in the draft.
They need a rental quarterback.
My God, can you see him playing in Cleveland?
God, I would hate it.
I just can't see him playing in Cleveland. Just because of the spotlight's not there in Cleveland. I mean,
it's fair.
It's not there in Tennessee either. It is there in Vegas.
The New York Giants could do something real funny right now.
Oh God, dude! Would you put your job on the line for Aaron Rodgers?
Not. I mean, if I was Dayball, I'd be running
because he's got one shot. Dayball's got one. This is it. They gave him a Hail Mary on this and said, "Okay, I'll give you another year," but he's not getting two.
No,
he's got to make whatever decisions he's got to make. He can't blow this one.
That's why Shador is not the answer.
It is not the answer.
A rookie quarterback is not the answer.
No.
It's going to get you fired.
It will because he doesn't have more time. I mean, this is it. He's got to win right now.
Yep.
And a rookie quarterback's not going to win right now.
Nope.
So interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see that. All right. Last NFL thing I want to bring up. Bring up. We have a new Deshaun Watson in our midst.
Oh, I know. God, Justin Tucker.
As some people are calling him Justin Tugger.
Dude, he's like, you know what?
7 more people came out, 7 more girls.
I know, that's what I mean. You want to say, nah. But now we're up to 16. And it's just like...
It's the same thing that we felt with Deshaun.
You want to say, I can't even envision that. But you have 16 women now coming forward. That's an overwhelming amount of people. I mean,
yeah,
it really is. It's not 3. It's not 2. It's not 5. I mean, it's 16. And it's just like, holy shit. And we're talking about going back to 2012.
Yeah. That's like 2012 is right after he came out of college.
So, I guess the positive on his end, he's 35 and he's played a lot of ball and maybe it's time to get himself out of the spotlight.
I know, but you're on track to go down to be the greatest kicker ever.
But I mean,
and that's such a huge stain.
God, man, it's disappointing. I still don't understand it, but these guys, I literally don't understand it. I don't know what else to say.
It's gross.
It is gross, and there's 16 of them now, and I'm not going to say he's guilty, but that's a lot of people saying you did shit.
These guys make so much money. They don't need to do that.
That's what I mean.
You don't.
They got groupies hanging out every day trying to freaking do something.
Fly to Vegas.
I don't get it, man.
Shit.
I don't understand it.
It's mind blowing. It's got to be some sort of weird power trip.
It literally does.
Because that's in the past 10 years, that's 3 NFL people. You got Kraft.
Yeah.
You've got Watson and now Tucker.
Now Tugger.
I
like that one. Yeah, it's sad. It's I don't know what else to say, man. Gross.
It's gross. Gross is what you say.
I know.
It's gross.
God.
Holy shit.
Yeah, sad.
All right, well, that's all I got for NFL, my friend.
All right, that's all I got. I don't actually have anything else, I don't think.
There's been some good golf.
Well, some good golf. Yeah, you're the golf guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw all right, how old is this dude? Didn't Rory win a thing?
Yeah, he won him.
Hadn't won in like 100 years, and he won.
Well, he's not 100 years old, but yeah, he hadn't won in a while. He won a few weeks ago.
There you go.
And then he has looked not great since then. I don't know, man. He's so up and down. I think his divorce was brutal last year. Plus, he was the mouthpiece against the LIV.
Yeah.
And he's now walking it back, so everybody's critiquing him. That dude has definitely stuck his foot in his mouth a couple times. But you know what I appreciate about Rory McIlroy is that he's genuinely honest. And he tells you exactly what's going on, right? A lot of these guys sugarcoat it.
Well, he had to back it up because he didn't really have much choice. I mean, he was trying to be the face of the league, and then he got screwed.
Yeah, he got screwed. He got screwed when they went and made a deal behind his back. Like,
that's what I mean.
Him and Tiger are out front, literally, carrying the PGA at that point.
I know he got screwed. So I like him. I think he's good.
I like Rory too, very much.
I gotta ask you, whatever happened to Sergio
Garcia?
Yeah, remember he was like the young dude for a long time ago. He didn't win much, did he?
He won a lot.
Did he?
I mean, it's hard to compare him, Phil, Adam Scott, those guys, because they had to play Tiger. And Tiger was...
Well, he was dominating.
We've never seen anything like that before.
But I remember he was just the young guy, and he was like an up-and-comer guy, and then I really didn't hear much about him.
Yeah, he's an Austinite.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a UT guy. He took the money, the Saudi money, and went to LIV.
Okay.
I don't blame those guys for going to LIV. The amount of money they were throwing at those dudes.
Oh, my God.
I would go to. Honestly, I would go to.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, you can talk like from an outsider looking in.
Yeah, it's easy to talk shit.
But if somebody...
Here's $300 million to come play golf 6 times a year.
And if you're Phil, you gamble all your shit away, so you need the money.
Oh my God, he's like to the point where there's stories where it got to the point of like paying off hitmen.
Yeah, he's
type of shit.
So he needed the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's too much money. It's too much money to have principles. I hate to say it, but
my values would be out the fucking
because
door. I would take the money.
All you're giving up is where you play the sport. You're not giving up any like personal things.
And 4 of the 6 tournaments are in the U.S.
I mean, that's just the money. The checks they can write are phenomenal.
That's why I'm surprised not more of like the international soccer players are going to the Saudi Pro League because they're opening up the checkbook for those guys.
I know. The money is gross that they can pay.
But they can pay it. So take advantage. I mean, if they're offering it, I'm personally taking it.
I would. I'd probably go, this sucks. I don't want to play. Oh, how much? Okay. I'm your guy. Because at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself and your family. So
yeah, and they've worked it back to where they get to come and play in all the majors as well. So
yeah, it's kind of worked out.
They won. The guys that went to LIV.
Yeah, they did. They got the money.
They got
everything.
They got the money. They don't have to play every week on the PGA Tour, and they can play the majors.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
But man, what a wild ride that whole thing has been. Golf needs to find a way to come back together, though, because it's very hard to watch when, I mean, you're watching these tournaments, but you're like, okay, but Rahm's not there.
Yeah.
Brooks Koepka's not there. As much as I'm not a big fan of him, Bryson DeChambeau's not there.
Yeah, you want to see the guy. You're watching. You want to see the top players,
right? And on the other end, on LIV, you're like, well, that's great, but Scheffler's not there, or Spieth's not there, or Rory's not there, Tiger's not there.
I agree.
So they need to find a way to bring it back. I think it's for the the best thing that could happen to golf is finding a way to coexist again. We'll see.
Good. Yeah,
we'll see.
All right, you're my golf guy.
That's your golf. That's your golf outlook.
Guy. I like it. What else you got?
That's all I got.
I just do want to say, I think the word of the day. I can't get it out of my head now.
Tugger.
SchlongDongle.
The SchlongDongle.
The SchlongDongler.
Have you been thinking about that for an hour? Holy shit. Schlossnagel.
I know.
But not SchlongDonger.
I have been thinking about it. I can't get it out of my head.
Real human being.
Poor guy, when he was in school, I bet he was brutal.
He's got like 5.3 million reasons.
I know he doesn't care, but I'm just saying.
That dude's making so much money to be the coach of Texas.
So he doesn't care if I call him SchlongDongle?
I'm sure he's never heard this podcast once in his life.
I'm sure he's never called that either.
No, I bet he's never been called that.
Oh.
Schlonger is a Jeff Amato thing. That's not anybody else's thing. No?
Jimmy SchlongDongle.
That is a bunk word.
I love it. All right. Well, that's all I got.
All right, that's all I got too. Well, if you guys are enjoying this, please rate it for us and give us a couple likes there. Definitely helps us. Check out social media. Bunk over here has been
the meme
fire king. I've been just kind of stepping out of the way and let you meme it up because they've been fantastic. I love them. So check that out and email your questions to bunkandpickpodcast@gmail.com.
I even put a young bunk picker out there.
I saw it.
The old basketball player.
I saw it. Man,
predated LeBron with the headband.
The Godfather there teaching you.
Godfather?
That was a combined height of maybe 10 feet tall in that picture.
Did you see the one? Did you see the one kid? How tall that one kid was?
Yeah, but he was probably only like 5'5".
No. Okay, that's messed up. He wasn't. So just a quick story. So we played for the rec center, and in Florida, you had each rec center for each city had an all-star team, and then you went to a state tournament. So I was on the all-star team, and that kid was on the all-star team. But the only thing you couldn't do was you couldn't be more than 6 foot. And that dude, his head, like they had to push his hair down. He was literally 12 years old. He was 6 foot tall.
Shaved his head.
It was crazy. And I can tell you a lot of stories about teams we played in North Florida that had kids that were supposed to be 12 that had like stashes and SchlongDongles going.
That doesn't surprise me.
Anyway. All right. Well, let's take us home.
Yeah, take us home.
All right. Hey, guys, we'll see you next time here at the Bunk and Pick podcast. Until then, we'll be rolling balls.
But we won't be rolling SchlongDongle. Not rolling those. Sick man.
I'm sorry. I love it.